On 12th of March 2024, the Home Secretary commissioned the Migration Advisory Committee to look into the graduate routes and find out whether it's being abused. Now, he told them that they have to submit a report by 14th of May 2024. Today is May 14th, 2024. I promised you on this channel that I was going to give you a report on the outcome of anything that has been published online, and it's good news. You can see by the way I'm smiling, it's good news, and I felt it's very important that I share this news with you. If you are meeting me for the first time, my name is Cynthia. I share information that will help your transition abroad to be as smooth as possible. I share information about settling, working, or studying in the UK, US, or Canada. If you're interested in any of these countries, please subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell so that each time I drop a new video, you know it's time to watch Cynthia Academy. And without wasting time, let's get into this video. Now, the letter he shared is titled Letter to the Home Secretary on the Rapid Review of the Graduate Routes. I'm going to put the link in the description box so that you can look at it. I'm also going to add another link, which is the 70-page report. If you're interested in statistics and some of the outcomes, what is your impact as a student? If you want to find out some of those things, you can go through that document and educate yourself. This letter says, Dear Home Secretary, I'm pleased to inform you that we have published the Migration Advisory Committee Rapid Review of the Graduate Routes, a copy of which has been provided to your office. Now it says, our report provides insight on the 5 questions posed in your commissioning letter. We have not found evidence of widespread abuse on the graduate routes, where we define abuse as deliberate non-compliance with immigration rules, and we conclude that the route is not undermining the integrity and the quality of the UK higher education system. This is good news, guys. This is good news. However, we have reason to believe that there are some agents and sub-agents recruiting international students are mis-selling UK higher education and exploiting students in the process. We expect the impact on public finances of graduate visa holders on the route to be small but positive, as most appear to work, are young, and have no recourse to public funds. I am pleased with this. This is the absolute truth. Many students who even go further towards using that graduate route are hardworking. They're all working. You cannot live in this country without working, and we don't take public funds. So I'm really happy with this report. But let me just read further so you see some of the points they have raised, some of their recommendations with regards to this route. It says, having laid out in full our answer to these 5 questions in our report, we provide 3 sets of recommendations. Now, the first one is that we recommend retaining the graduate route in its current form. We found that the graduate route is broadly achieving the objectives set out by the Home Office, while also supporting government education policy as outlined in the International Education Strategy. The changes to the routes on student dependence, which were implemented in January and are in effect a change to the dependent rules of the graduate route, will likely have a significant effect on graduate route usage going forward, which I agree. Stopping master students from bringing their dependents is going to affect the graduate route. It's because, you know, there's one of the rules is that when you are a student, if you want to switch to a graduate route, you have to bring the dependents you had as a student to your graduate routes. I think that is a rule like that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment box. Now, while initial data suggests that these changes are already substantially reducing international student numbers, we believe their full impact will be assessed before considering further changes. Implementing additional restrictions or closing the routes now could risk overcorrection. I believe this too. Given international student fees help make up the financial deficit that universities have from teaching domestic students and research, any significant restrictions to the route should only be considered once the structural funding issues in the higher education sector have been addressed. This speaks to the broader point that any changes to migration policy will likely involve trade-offs across other areas of government policies. I have also shared on this channel that universities are suffering a lot of financial impact. They are having some negative impact as a result of removing that master students from bringing their dependents. Because of that, many people are not, happy to come to the UK as a master student. There's been headlines of universities laying off staff. It's all over the news. There are headlines of universities saying that they are cutting down on so many things because master students from all over the world, I'm talking about people that are coming to the UK as international students, they have a huge impact, positive impact on the university, which translates towards the economy in the UK. The second point they shared here is that we recommend that the government establishes a mandatory registration system for international recruitment agents and sub-agents, which encompasses the quality controls in the voluntary agent quality framework, consulting with the devolved administrations to ensure UK-wide coverage. We recommend that universities should be required to publish data on their spend on recruitment agents and the number of international students recruited through such means annually as a starting point to improve disclosure. Okay, while these agents play an important role in promoting the UK and in supporting international students, we found some examples of bad practice from certain agents. Our recommendations should help ensure that the quality of UK higher education is upheld and students are protected from exploitation. Please, if students are being exploited, I would really support that they should stop that. Stop any way or means at which these students are exploited. I know that some universities use international agents for some of their recruitment, and if they are being exploited, no, they should do something about it. Now, this is the third point. They said we provide several recommendations on data and monitoring for the routes and the wider immigration system, which are outlined in our report. Firstly, we recommend that the government should only open new migration routes or make significant policy changes when it has a clear plan for how it will collect and monitor data to assess the effectiveness of the route against its objectives and understand wider impacts. So they are saying that they can recommend any changes later on when they have already assessed it. As for now, they say this particular graduate route should remain. And they said we also recommend that the Home Office introduces a requirement for universities to provide it with confirmation of the course outline, that's class of degree, on the student routes, in addition to confirming that a course has been successfully completed, which is currently required. We note that some of the data you referred to in your commissioning letter was incorrect. Now, let's see the data. It said this data was not referring to those that had switched from graduate routes to the skilled worker routes. Rather, it covered those that had switched from student route to the skilled worker routes. Now, remember in that particular letter, he said that he noticed that many students switched to care work, and that is not the purpose of the graduate routes. The Migration Advisory Committee is correcting that information. Your report is not about switching from graduate routes to skilled worker. It was about students switching to the skilled worker. So it's not a purpose or a reason for you to scrap this particular route that students use to switch, you understand? So I kind of understand it. They are trying to correct that particular thing he wrote in the letter that time. Now it says, this takes us to the next recommendation. We recommend that the Home Office undertakes a review of the data variables used for analytical purposes across the larger visa routes, including skilled worker routes, student routes, and graduate routes, to develop a clear definition of what these data represent and the quality of each variable collected. Finally, we recommend that the government explore and make further use of the HMRC match data. We look forward to your response to our report and to receiving the Immigration Salary List Commission shortly. On behalf of the Migration Advisory Committee, yours sincerely, Professor Brian Bell, Chair of Migration Advisory Committee. This is good news, guys. For now, Nothing. I don't think anything is going to happen, because this is research-led information. This is after analyzing the data. They have come out with this. It means that it's going to adversely affect universities, and it's going to, invariably, it's going to affect the UK if they scrap this route. I told you that if they scrap this graduate route, it's going to affect international students coming in. International students want to be able to come in to study, and if they want to pursue a PhD afterwards, or they want to get another job, they have to spend some time, before they get that job. And the graduate route is just ideal. It's just a fantastic opportunity that benefits everybody, both international students as well as the UK economy at large. So even the universities too, because if you observe many classes, if you go to master's class, you will see that it's mostly international students that occupy those classes. You barely see as in any local student or domestic student there. So I'm so happy with this report. But there's something I want to share with you. It's published on the Times Higher Education. They summarized some of the reports. It says the use of the graduate route is concentrated among 4 nationalities. India, Nigeria, China, and Pakistan account for 70% of all graduate visas, with Indian nationals making up over 40%. It says also about 40% of applicants were based in London, which suggests that students may be moving to capital for work after graduating from universities in other parts of the UK. So it seems that a lot of work in London. It also says graduate visa holders are likely to be net fiscally positive because of their tax contributions, their low healthcare costs, the requirement to pay immigration health surcharge, and the no recourse to public funds. Guys, just go and read about these reports. I'm going to put all the links in the description box. I'm so happy about this, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.